Jim, before we completely move on from this, a report also out this week, confirmed, I guess, I think Triple H said it. WWE discontinuing their home video unit. No more DVDs, no more Blu-rays. What are your thoughts?
Well, and I read that also, and I, so they're just giving up all of that money. They don't need to make that money for all the people who would want to keep. And I know a lot of these shows are interchangeable. I'm not saying anybody wants, except for the people in Cardiff might have wanted Clash at the Castle or whatever. But WrestleMania, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, the big shows, or some, major happening whenever Roman Reigns gets beat. Fans have always wanted, since the dawn of home video, wanted to keep wrestling on video. That's why I got a VCR to begin with in 1979. And I know a lot of other people did the same thing. You can't tell me that they've produced the program already. They've got a tape. It's not like they're shooting a movie and having to sell tickets to it to get their money back. The program is produced. Besides the cost of duplicating DVDs and marketing them, how can you lose money on DVDs these days? So, there's people that's going to buy it because they want it on their shelf. Like we've all got all of our favorite movies and disc sets of all of our favorite TV shows. You don't just want to take the chance that the next time you want to see it, you go sit down at your fucking computer and see if you can find it on YouTube or whatever. You want it where you can pull it off the shelf and stick it in and watch it and rewind it and, and watch It's a Wonderful Life at Christmas or whatever the fuck. Who does not keep their own home video that they like of their favorite shows?
In a sense, if they did it, this would create maybe a better opportunity for them, because there are declining home video sales, obviously, in general, just because of how formats are changing. But people still want physical units to hold and look at.
Yeah, I attribute the declining sales to the fact that every movie made over the last 10 years has been complete shit.
Well, I don't know about that, but I will say that this could be a chance to sell direct to consumer from their website, so you don't have to make more units than you need. You can print up what you need, jack up the price because it's direct to consumer. You add bonus items.
Well, I wouldn't have a problem with that. They said they were discontinuing selling DVDs of their shows, not that you could only get it through. I agree they ought to do WWE.com, get the DVD of Survivor Series. I'm with you there. Eliminate the overhead, cut out the middleman. But to not do it at all is ridiculous.
Well, we will keep up with the end of physical units in the future here on the show.
Thank goodness. I've got enough in the house already. I can watch all the shit that I've got one time and I won't live that long, but I feel bad for the children.
Well, it's one of the reasons why I've said it before. If a book comes out that I want, even if I'm not going to have time to read it, I'll buy it right away. Because I know there's a chance it may go out of print and disappear, or become really expensive and get hard to get. And with television and movies, it's the same thing. If I see a physical unit of something I know I'm going to want, like in my old age, for whatever reason,
yeah,
I'm buying it, because otherwise I've seen shit. It happens with wrestling. I've seen shit disappear and I'll never see it again, and it'll drive me crazy. And I want access to whatever I want to see.
And I love to hear people talk about, well, I bought this movie online or that whatever the fuck. If you paid for something online that you watch and you've only got it online, you didn't buy it. You just rented it. It's available to be taken away at any point. It's not real. If you can't hold it in your fucking hand and stick it into a goddamn machine that will show you a picture on a screen, it ain't real.
Well, Jim, the listeners certainly are like us. They don't want to be shut out of the content they want to see, no matter where they live. And we know a fine company that can help them access whatever content they want, no matter where they are. And that's ExpressVPN.
That's right. Because they're another company that doesn't want to see people ripped off and have stuff taken away from them. That's why, as you're downloading all this media that you want to keep on physical attributes like discs and tapes and all that stuff, Some of these people might come looking for you and try to press charges or slap you around. Well, if they can't find you, they're not going to be pressing charges, nor are they going to be doing any slapping, because ExpressVPN will keep them from knowing where you are. You might be in Bolivia, you might be in Cambodia, you might be on a beach somewhere in a deserted, uncharted South Seas island. Well, if it was uncharted, they wouldn't be able to find the island to look for you and know that you're not there. But nevertheless, there's loopholes in all this stuff, folks. But the important part is that ExpressVPN protects your privacy and lets you watch a bunch of stuff that people are trying not to let you see. Now, to see this stuff that people are trying not to
only because of where you live, not because of any legal issues, but just because of the legal boundaries of your country.
It's geographic discrimination is what it is. And it's all these boundaries, the property boundaries. Now, let's say, for example, you were just walking your dog when you were close enough to peep into Mrs. Randolph's window and saw her wearing her white frilly undies. There, it was all innocent. Well, ExpressVPN would have Mrs. Randolph thinking that you were looking at her from Auckland, New Zealand. See, that's a real life application that you can use and learn from, Brian. But it's not only just things you're not supposed to see because of where you live, because of the geographic discrimination involved here. They're anti-Livites. They care about where you live as to whether you can be entertained or not. Let's say you want to watch one of these goofy Korean cooking shows. Well, that's nobody's business but your own. Or let's say you want to see Mrs. Brown's Boys from the BBC. Whatever. ExpressVPN will reroute all of your traffic through an encrypted server so that your browsing activity, and more importantly, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, your browsing places stay between you and your own personal deity that you might believe in.
That's right. Perhaps you're going to the BBC website that's not available to people here in the States. That's a great example.
I heard they have more BBC sites here in the States than anywhere else in the world.
I'm talking about the British Broadcasting Corporation.
Corporation.
Company. What is it?
Council. Whatever it may be. And here's another thing. All the advertisers out there can't buy your personal information from your internet service providers, like I don't need to mention any names, AT&T, Verizon. And that way you're not just being bandied about, you're not being prostituted. Your name and your reputation and your likeness is not being traded around by these unsavory people just purely for monetary gain. If you're going to get down on your knees for somebody, you ought to get part of the money. That's why we're going to save you money at ExpressVPN. When you drop down on your knees for them, at least you know you're getting the best deal possible. So right now, go to expressvpn.com/JCE, and you're going to get 3 extra months for free of protection. This is like wearing a condom when you fuck your computer. You don't want to get any viruses that will leap through your urethra, travel down the tube inside your dick, and go right to your colon where it will fester into cancer.
No, stop. What are you talking? First of all, pee after you're done. Second of all, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. ExpressVPN.
It's when you're sticking your willy into the USB input, you want to know that you're protected by ExpressVPN. It's like taking a big swig of hydrogen peroxide and just cleaning your computer out.
Metaphorical Willie.
Metaphorical Willie. He used to work, he did the custodial work down at the elementary school. But anyway, folks, right now, ExpressVPN, reroute your traffic. Be on the expressway to love in a pink Cadillac, and none of the ISPs will know about it. And right now, get 3 months extra service for free of expressvpn.com/JCE. Use that code /. Nobody will know where you are. Your own family won't be able to find you once ExpressVPN reroutes you. Every time they call you, they'll just get a message in some type of vague Eastern European accent saying you're unavailable for comment.
That's not how this works. That's certainly not how this works. And you don't have to, but you can talk to your family if you want, or if you don't want, you don't have to, but ExpressVPN will be there for you.
They're not going to determine whether or not you talk to your family. It's up to you is what you're saying, right?
That is correct.
Well, you can get that service, but it costs extra. expressvpn.com/JCE. It's super easy to use. Just tap one button to turn it on, baby, and you'll be protected.